I do not own the rights to this music.
Be not dismayed, whatever betide, God will take care of you. Beneath his wings, beneath his wings of love abide. God will take care. He'll take care of you.
Hello, and welcome to Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron. Sunday School lesson for Sunday, February 21st, 2021. Our reference material for the Sunday School Summary is based upon the International Sunday School Lesson Series as published by the Sunday School Publishing Board. We are discussing the call of God in the New Testament as the title of the Winter Lesson Series, and is categorized into 3 units or groups of lessons. In Unit 1, we talked about the beginning of a call. Unit 2, we talked about Jesus and calls in his ministry. And in Unit 3, we're talking about the call of women. The call of women discusses the significant roles of women in witness to and support of Jesus' ministry in their own right and their impact on Jesus' ministry. The title of our lesson today is Risk Taker, and it comes from Romans chapter 16, verses 3 and 4, which reads as follows. Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Christ Jesus, who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also all the churches of the Gentiles. The title of today's lesson, Risk Taker, the background to the story is Luke's account of Paul's missionary journey through Greece and the conflicts and violent reactions to his teachings, even to the risk of bodily harm. Today's lesson brings Paul to Corinth from Athens, where he meets and befriends Aquila and Priscilla, who support his ministry at great risks to themselves, either personally or financially, as Paul does not define. The 3 summary lesson points for today are similar in trade from Acts chapter 18, verses 1 through 3, and verse 18. Similar in task, Acts chapter 18, verses 19 through 21. And summary point number 3 is salute of thanks. And that's from Romans chapter 16, verses 3 and 4. Now, the passage for the lesson today revolve around the key words of risk, salute, trade, and task. And in risk, we talked about something that creates or suggests a danger. It's a possibility of loss or injury or great peril. In salute, what we mean is to greet with expressions of kind wishes, courtesy, or honor, to show great respect, courtesy, or goodwill. And trade, we're talking about the business or work in which one engages regularly, an occupation that requires a certain skill, craft, or occupation. And in our lesson today, we're talking about tent making is the trade. And task is a work assignment, chore, duty, or job. And in today's lesson, the task we're talking about is ministering and spreading the gospel is the task. Now, similar in trade from Acts chapter 18, verses 1 through 3 and verse 18. And in these passages, Luke records Paul's arrival in Corinth from Athens and how he uses his tent-making skills to network. He meets and networks or connects with Aquila and Priscilla, who are fellow tent makers in Corinth. The network is based upon their connection on a professional and spiritual level. Their shared vocation/work interest evolved into a powerful ministry of the gospel, as evident by the risk to Aquila and Priscilla that Paul referenced in his letter to the Romans. Aquila and Priscilla traveled and worked with Paul in the ministry, and they traveled with him to Ephesus in support of his ministry. Similar in task from Acts chapter 18, verses 19 through 21. And in these passages, the Apostle Paul is accompanied by Aquila and Priscilla as he arrives in Ephesus from Corinth. Their ministry of Ephesus will diverge into similar tasks. Paul preached and shared the gospel of Jesus Christ in the synagogue, and he was effective and well received. Whereas Aquila and Priscilla meet an African named Apollos. They engaged, preached, and discussed the gospel with Apollos, and they were effective in bringing the gospel to Apollos, who had limited knowledge of Jesus as the Messiah. So the network of Paul and Aquila and Priscilla shared the gospel and teaching based upon reason. Paul in the synagogue and Aquila and Priscilla with the people they met, such as Apollos. Salute of thanks, and that comes from Romans chapter 16, verses 3 and 4. And these passages are references in Paul's letter to the church at Rome. He provides references and introductions of people in the ministry traveling to Rome, including his good friends, Priscilla and Aquila. Now, the reference indicates the power and influence of Priscilla, as she, a woman, is referenced first in her own right, which is kind of radical for the times. Paul also references the assistance of Aquila and Priscilla, that they provided great assistance to him in the cause of Christ. They had strong affection for him, which they showed by risking their lives on his account. Paul does not tell us what the risks were, but he gives thanks to them. And he said all of the churches of the Gentiles were indebted or thankful to them as well. So the summary points for Sunday, February 21st, 2021, similar in trade, Paul meets Aquila and Priscilla and bonds as tent makers and in ministry. And similar in task from Acts chapter 18, verses 19 through 21, the ministry were similar but to different audiences. And a salute of thanks from Romans chapter 16, verses 3 and 4. And here Paul expresses much love and respect for Priscilla and Aquila for all that they had done in support of him and his ministry. Thank you. This is Brother Ron with the Sunday School Summary for Sunday, February 21st, 2021. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you next week for another edition of Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron.